Silver yelled at the speaker with language coarse enough to embarrass a sailor, but the rest of Junpei's companions were silent, deep in thought.
Asshole! Oh, ich hab nicht so viele. Gut, sorry.
Junpei too was consumed by his thoughts. There was a great deal he didn't understand.
I hate you,
Im
speaker.
Hintergrund die ganze Zeit.
I hate the speaker. Speaker's the worst.
Who was Zero? What was the nonary game?
What does nonary mean?
Why had he chosen to make them part of it? Was he a criminal who took delight in playing with his victims? Or did he have some other purpose? And why had Junpei been chosen as part of this insane game? Why had any of them been chosen? But one question was foremost in his mind.
Chosen?
Akane.
Been chosen?
They hadn't seen one another since elementary school.
City 70.
Why had she appeared now? Coincidence? No, that seemed impossible. There had to be a reason. He didn't know what it might be, but there had to be a reason.
Very well.
The lion's voice seemed oddly loud in the silence.
Very stairwell. Standing around here won't do us any good.
Bescheuerter Witz.
Best we get moving, don't you think? Get moving? Are you planning to open the numbered doors? Hey, wait. Don't tell me you're actually going to do what this Zero says. No, that's not what I mean.
The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed.
I'm saying let's find another way. After all, we haven't really examined this place yet. We what?
Das Examen mean? Hat der Erzähler jetzt Punkt gesagt?
Ja. Dot.
Their separate investigations finished. All 9 people returned to where they'd left one another. The result of all their work was nothing. They were completely sealed in. Their hard work had not gone completely to waste, however. They
did find a Milchschnitte.
They had learned a number of things as they scoured the parts of the ship they could reach. It seemed that they were confined to decks A through C.
C deck.
C deck was as far down as they would be able to go, however. The reason being...
Water deck.
The D deck was completely submerged.
Ich finde schön, dass wir wenn das Schiff so
ein Geisterschiff.
So ein fröhliches Geisterschiff eigentlich wäre. Oh Jesus!
Strangely, however, the water had risen no higher than D deck. The flow seemed to have been stopped somehow, as evidenced by the surface of the water on D deck, which was as smooth as glass. The prince knelt down and gently drew his hand across it.
Perhaps this Zero... Wie hab ich ein bisschen quietschig gemacht. Perhaps this Zero fellow has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door lower down. He said that our time limit was 9 hours. In other words, this water won't rise for 9 hours.
Correct.
Then you're saying we won't sink till then? Well, that may be a little too optimistic. No point to wishful thinking.
There were 3 metal doors on C deck. A single door stood off to the side with 2 more on the wall facing the central staircase. None of them had numbers or verification devices. They were, however, locked like the other doors. No matter how much they pushed and shoved, the doors refused to move. The mountain and the lion threw themselves against them a few times, but to no avail. The door on the back had a keyhole. Just above it was a strange mark on the shape of a circle surrounding a dot. What? Ich sehe da eher einen sehr...
also ich sehe da auch keine, das war aber...
Einen sehr aufgelösten Zyklopen.
Oh, jeez. Vielleicht einfach nur ein Zyklop, ein sehr kleiner Zyklop, der von der anderen Seite der Tür da durchguckt.
There were 2 other doors on C deck as well, but it was clear they were elevators, as each had a button next to it with an upside-down triangle. They tried pushing the button. No response. Apparently there was no power running the elevators. To the left of the elevator doors was a card reader. The card reader had also a strange mark on it. Is this Jupiter oder so? looked like a lowercase h with a dash drawn across the upper stem of the H. Junpei stared at it for a while. This is the symbol of Saturn. Dang it.
How dare you?
Stimmt. Du
It's an astrological symbol. Then the mark on the door? I think that was the sun symbol.
They had seen the same symbols on A deck. On A deck, nicht on A deck.
On
There
a
was a
deck.
door on either side of the stairs.
No, which deck? A
The
deck?
one on A deck. The one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved on it.
Die deck? Why are you speaking German now? Which deck are you talking about? This is an earth symbol. The horizontal line symbolizes the equator and the vertical one represents the prime meridian. I'm smart!
Junpei looked up at the ceiling. There was a great circle, cut in it, perhaps for a skylight or glass dome, but it had been filled with a gargantuan metal plate. The metal looked very solid. Anything short of an explosive charge was unlikely to damage it. There were several windows along both sides of the ship, or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates. In other words...
Shit. We're trapped. All the exits go nowhere.
Junpei was not happy.
I am not happy.
The girl with pink hair spoke up.
Well, I'm sure they go somewhere. We just can't open them. Ich überleg mir da noch was anderes bei der.
Then the mountain spoke.
You don't know that. For all we know, they just open into walls or take us in circles.
The prince did not agree.
No, I'm sure they go somewhere. Otherwise, what point would there be? And we can open them. Well, 2 of them at least. You mean the numbered doors?
All eyes turned toward the doors with the numbers. The atmosphere in the room grew tense.
I hate numbers. Hey, wait a minute. I think I said it earlier, but I don't think we should do that.
The dancer moved in front of the doors as if to block them.
We'd have to be crazy to open these doors. If we do that, we're doing exactly what Zero wants us to do.
Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once.
Rubble, rubble, rubble.
I agree. I don't. That's a terrible idea. We should keep going. We should stay here. We don't have any other way to open these doors. We should just wait. Someone's bound to come find us. We don't have time for that.
Mr.
In 8.5 hours, the ship is going to sink.
Plastic.
The clamour of voices made it next to impossible to determine who was
I'm
saying
sure I
what.
just heard Shaggy somewhere.
Ja, stell dir mal vor, so 8 Leute streiten sich und der 9. singt einfach mit. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another.
Shaggy!
Shaggy! Junpei had remained
Pokémon. Shaggy!
Junpei had remained silent, but at least he could take no more.
Hey!
At last steht da, ja, egal.
Shut up!
They fell silent and all eyes turned
Noch
to
nie echt
Junpei.
funktioniert. Wenn andere Leute gerade schreien und du auch schreist, wird es einfach nur noch lauter.
He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch.
Before we try and decide where we're going to go, there's something else we ought to do. What's that? We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about each other. I want to know who you guys are. Who you are, where you came from, and who of you sounds like Shaggy. Don't tell me you aren't curious too.
I am curious.
I am. That was great.
They were silent.
I love Shaggy.
Some of them looked the other way or bit their lip or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling.
Das war Shaggy, der so komisch tut.
But one of them spoke up. It was Akane.
I agree. I think Jumpy is right.
Jumpy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him. I just call him Jumpy. His name is Junpei.
Gleich sein Nickname weg. She pointed toward Junpei.
We are childhood friends. We went to the same elementary school.
Wait, stop. Don't tell us stuff we didn't ask you about. Zero's probably watching us right now. What are you gonna do if he's listening in?
Would that be bad?
Hell yeah, it would. We don't know how much that bastard knows about us. Maybe he just picked a bunch of random people to kidnap. If that is the case, then it'd be dangerous for us to let him know too much. If Zero knows who we are, he could go after our families. Maybe tell us he had them to get to us to do stuff, you know?
But we still need to know what our names are. It's going to be hard to talk to each other. We don't know if we don't have names.
Alright, then why don't we have code names?
To him, apparently, it seemed like the obvious solution.
I'm Solid Snake.
Code names?
Yeah, we'll each pick something.
Pick something. God damn it, sorry.
Like, I'll be 7.
7?
Ich würde mir auch eine Zahl nennen, wenn überall hier Zahlen sind.
Why are you 7?
Seemed a fair question. The mountain stuck out his left arm.
Cause this bracelet number says 7.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
He smirked.
I'm called 7 too. Alright, I'm gonna be Santa.
Weil die 3 war?
Any of you chumps know Japanese? No? Well, San means 3. So I'll be Santa.
Das habe ich mir noch gemerkt.
Nice job.
Beziehungsweise ich weiß halt Ichi, San,
Yeah.
Chi und so weiter.
You know, like Santa Claus. Fits, don't you think?
Wieso Santa?
Weil Santa auch ein Held ist, Held der Kinder.
Ja.
Then your bracelet number.
Santa Claus ist Schnee, das ist weiß, ich habe weiße Haare.
Yeah, it's got a 3 on it. Good job, Grandpa.
Rams.
Oh, sorry.
Just like the mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left hand.
Was er da am Arm hat, dieses Ding.
Das kann man tragen, wenn man ein Kleid dazu hat und...
Ja, wenn man eine sehr, sehr stylische Metal-Lady ist. Oder auch ein Kerl. Wenn man diesen Metal-Style oder diesen Emo-Style so wirklich ownt, dann geht das. Hier, die eine Square Enix, Nintendo-Frau, die das im Treehouse-Stream hatte,
stimmt, ja.
der habe ich ja so voll abgenommen, dass die das trägt.
Ja.
Bei ihm wirkt's tryhard.
Sure enough, the face of his bracelet read 3.
Santa.
Very well then. I'll go next, shall I? My bracelet number is 1. Given that,
I think Ace seems appropriate.
Oh, it's all coming back.
I'll be Lotus then. As I'm sure you all know, it has 8 petals. Which means, of course, that my bracelet number is
5.
8.
I would appreciate... Was war's? Kermit.
I would appreciate it if you could call me Snake. My bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, then I choose dice. Snake eyes clearly. Which is particularly relevant, given that I am blind.
Blind, really? He'd kept his eyes closed during the entire ordeal, which had suggested something strange, but to hear it said so casually was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed to be a little bit nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it.
Renn panisch weg. Oh Gott!
There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least, the girl with pink hair.
I want to be Clover. You know, like a 4-leaf clover. Good luck, right?
Looking almost
Bei ihr bin ich auch
bored, she held out her left hand.
Bear with me.
Kein Problem. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They'd come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet.
Alright, my number's 5, so my code name is gonna be... Why have one? It's not like there's any point to it now.
The dancer cut him off in mid-sentence.
I mean, we all know your name already. You're Junpei. Uh-oh.
They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously.
Then you should all call me by my name too. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem...
it doesn't seem fair to Jumpy. Well, why don't you go and kiss Jumpy and Akane sitting on a tree?
You're thinking it's not cool for you to hide your name after you told us his?
Akane fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do something.
What's your bracelet number?
It's 6.
She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left hand. As she'd claimed, the bracelet's face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought,
Alright then, why don't we call you June?
June?
Yeah, you know, it's the 6th month of the year. So you're June.
Jumpy. I love June.
Akane kneaded her hands and looked
Kniete.
up at Junpei, uncertain.
Akane knietete ihre Hände.
He smiled back at her, reassuringly.
Are you good with that?
She thought about it for a few more minutes,
Minutes?
then seemed to
Jesus
come on to a
Christ.
decision and gave Junpei a small nod.
Minutes.
Only everyone else had wandered off by then. Their names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his head. 1 was Ace. 2 was Snake. 3 was Santa. 4 was Clover. 5 was Junpei's number. Akane was 6 and Junpei had given her the code name of June. 7 was 7 and 8 was Lotus. That meant that 8 of them, including Junpei, had revealed their bracelet numbers. But there was still one person left. He was the man with glasses and hair like a bird's nest. He hadn't said anything since they'd met on the stairs, and he didn't look like the sort of person who was inclined to conversation.
Blink.
His skin was pale, his breathing was heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he had only a fingertip's worth of a grip on his sanity. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on her hips and eyed him suspiciously.
What number are you?
He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitched from person to person and his breath came in hot pants.
Hey, I'm talking to you!
The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like old paper.
Isn't it obvious? There are 9 people here. And you know who numbers 1 through 8 are. I am the only one left.
So you're 9. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He extended a trembling arm. The bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at it contemptuously.
What's your code name?
Code name?
What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too.
I don't need one.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to stay here with you.
He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very like disgust.
You've got some sort of plan?
I do.
Yeah, what's that?
You sure you want to know?
Yeah?
Alright. Let me show you. I'm going to do this. Grope, grope.
By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid around behind her and wrapped his arm around her waist.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Okay, sorry.
Silver, Santa, leapt forward toward Clover and the 9th man. He was halfway there when...
Stay back!
Suddenly the man's hand dove into his pocket. It came out with a knife. Pocket knife. He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck.
If you get any closer, I'll cut her open!
Santa skidded to a halt. He snarled at the scrawny man with the knife and gritted his teeth.
Yeah, that's right.
The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the color of his shirt.
Clover, are you alright?
The prince, Snake's voice, sounded oddly concerned.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing.
What the hell are you trying to do?
I told you, this is my plan.
What are you going to do to her, you sick son of a bitch? Ne, es war Seven, verdammt. Ich dachte, es war Snake gewesen, Entschuldigung.
Ist nicht so schlimm.
Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything to her. If she just does what I tell her to, I let her go.
He started to move backwards slowly, keeping his grip on Clover. Keeping the distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start as his back touched it, then glanced around quickly and spoke.
Verify.
What?
The left. Look on your left. Do you see the device on the wall? Place your hand on the scanner panel, the round part. What if I don't?
The man's nostrils flared and he looked like he was about to choke.
Are you an idiot? What do you think? I could slit your throat right now. I'll kill you if I have to. All I need is your bracelet. Just do it! Do it now!
He pressed the knife against Clover's neck hard. Slowly, she stretched her left hand out toward the device. Her back was to it and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold electronic noise, and the display above her hand an asterisk appeared. So that's how it works, Junpei thought to himself. By placing one's palm on what the ninth man had called the scanner panel, the user's bracelet number would be entered into the device.
Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open.
Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. The number on it was 5. The ninth man seemed to know a little more about the device's operation than he should. How had he known exactly what to do?
Good, you're done. Next.
His bloodshot eyes crept from person to person until finally they stopped on the lion Ace.
You, right? You're the one with the number 1 bracelet, right?
Yes, I am. So?
You're next. Just verify your number like this little brat did. What are you doing? Do it! Don't you care what happens to her?
Okay, just calm down.
Ace had up his hands, palms out. The ninth man jerked his chin toward the device. Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved toward the device. After what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it.
Now, verify.
Ace nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The device beeped again and the second asterisk appeared. Now the device had Clover's and Ace's numbers, 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 ist 5. Equals. Ist das Wort, was ich gesucht habe.
Aber es funktioniert auch. Also sowohl im Englischen als auch im Deutschen.
The same as the number written on the door. But it wouldn't open just yet.
Only 3 to 5 people can pass through a unnumbered door.
The door needed at least one more person. Who would that be?
Get back!
His voice shook, but the knife he held to Clover's throat made his words a command. Ace took 2, then 3 steps back.
No, father! More than that. Go all the way back.
Slowly, Ace did what he was told. The ninth man's lips curled into a cruel, twisted smile. That was when Junpei understood his plan. Clover's 4 and Ace's 1, added to the ninth man's 9. 4 plus 1 plus 9 equals 14, to 1 plus 4 equals 5. In other words... Sweet Beavis oder Button.
Thank God you are so cooperative. Now I can get out of this nightmare.
He pressed his own hand against the scanner panel. A third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand to the lever on the side of the device and pulled.
Die Animation,
ja, ist immer wieder erstaunlich. The door opened with a heavy metallic groan. He let go of Clover.
Wait!
Junpei leapt toward the ninth man, but he wasn't fast enough. The man shoved Clover and hopped through the door. Hop.
Sup, bitches. Okay, have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then, goodbye.
He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then he was gone. The door ground shut with a dull clang of metal on metal.
Clover, are you alright?
Snake ran to Clover's side as she lay on the floor.
Yeah, I'm fine.
She climbed unsteadily to her feet and once there landed heavily on Snake's shoulders for support. Junpei ran to the door. The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of the handles and pulled. They grunted and strained, but...
Shit! It won't budge.
That was when Lotus, the dancer, spoke. Her voice was quiet.
Do you hear something? Like what? Like some sort of beeping.
Junpei pressed his ear against the cold metal of the door.
Beep.
The others did the same.
Beep. You're right. I can hear it too. What is it?
Then they heard something else. It was the ninth man.
Shit! What is it? Why is it stopping? God damn it! Light!
Light?
This wasn't supposed to happen! It's wrong! This is wrong!
His voice shook with fear. Safe on the outside, they stepped back from the door and looked at one another.
What is happening in there? Open the door! Please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here!
Junpei grabbed hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened. Why didn't it register him? He looked at the display where the asterisk had shown up. It said engaged.
It was the weird, non-functioning smartphone console from Nokia. I hated it. Oh, das war ganz schön schlecht, tut mir leid.
Oh my god! Oh my god, there's no time left! Listen, I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him!
Ich habe ihm eine sehr anstrengende Stimme gegeben, weil ich wusste, dass ich die nicht so lange brauche.
The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked and stood up, and slowly, when they realized there was no danger, no one spoke. Silence filled the room. In that silence, the electronic tone that echoed across the room sounded as loud as a gunshot. All eyes turned toward it. It had come from the device mounted next to the door. The display changed from engaged to vacant.
Let's see if we can open it.
7, the mountain swallowed hard. Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. A red asterisk appeared on the LCD panel. The device had registered Junpei's bracelet number 5. His was not enough, however. At least 2 more people were needed. Junpei asked, which pair?
So. Das ist eine Entscheidung, die halt entscheidet, obwohl, nee, ich glaube, das ist noch egal, aber damit wir die richtige nehmen, 3 plus 6, weil das ist die Quersumme, die richtige.
Okay.
Das ist also gar nicht so wichtig.
Aber das andere hätte schon Story-Folgen?
Nee, obwohl, das ist ja alles richtig. Also ich glaube, nur wenn man so richtig Türen auswählt, das ist Story-Folgen, aber auch für diese Fragen ist in Walkthrough, gibt es angegebene Antworten, deswegen würde ich die einfach folgen.
Okay.
Weißt du?
Ja. Weil an und für sich wäre, ja,
alles
nee,
richtig.
Okay. Santa und Junior?
Ja.
Okay. Santa
and June. You think you could give me a hand here?
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim.
I'm funny.
Both Santa and June lifted their left hands silently. He verified, and she followed suit. 5 plus 3 plus 6 equals 14, and 1 plus 4 equals 5. They had fulfilled the conditions. They were to pull the lever on the side.
Aber ganz kurz überleben.
Ich überlege gerade.
Nee, das ist für dich noch egal. Okay. Sorry. Kann ich ganz am Ende des Spiels erklären, wenn ich das denke. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna open it. Er hat jetzt gute Laune, weil er gerade so einen guten Witz gemacht hat.
Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line.
Die Musik ist so gut.
Then he slowly lowered the lever. There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth.
Oh my god. Good God.
Lotus and Ace shuddered. Seven grunted.
Whoa, that's pretty bad.
Even Santa's voice shook.
He blew up.
It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. The shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door ground shut.
Wäre das nicht ein guter Moment,
ja,
zu pausieren?
an und für sich.
Denn ich glaube, da bekommt man das
Konnte man hier speichern, wo man wollte?
Einfach, wenn du Start drückst, genau.
Ach ja, tatsächlich.
Da erkennst du, dass der Shit on ist.
Shit is getting real.
Um es mal so zu bezeichnen. Das wird ein bisschen länger als 10 Stunden brauchen, weil wir natürlich vorlesen. Aber ich glaube, das kann ganz cool werden.
Dauert es auch so lange mit den vorgegebenen Lösungspfaden?
Ja, so lange habe ich gebraucht. Ungefähr.
Okay, mit dem hier.
Genau.
Okay, alles klar.
Also wir haben schon eher so die 15, wenn ich sogar noch
Ich glaube nicht, dass es die Hälfte... Ach, werden wir ja sehen.
Wir werden es dann sehen.
Ist ja egal.
Ich hoffe, ihr habt Bock. Weil ich habe echt Bock. Darauf, dieses ganze Ding mit euch zu erleben.
Das geht ja überhaupt erst noch los.
Das gibt mir so ein bisschen gerade das Gefühl, Metal Gear Solid 1 mit Mats gestartet zu haben. Einfach mit dem Wissen, dass ich habe, was da noch so kommt. Und
ich glaube, nein, haben nicht so viele Leute gespielt wie Metal Gear Solid.
Und ich habe mehr als einmal gehört, der Vergleich, dass VLR, das Metal Gear Solid 2, also Virtual Last Reward, das Metal Gear Solid 2 dieser Serie sei. In vielerlei Hinsicht. Tatsächlich hat VLR viel gemein mit Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
Deswegen, ich freue mich sehr, das mit euch erleben zu können. Nichts mehr? Ich hoffe, es gefällt euch. Ich hoffe, ihr bleibt dabei.
Geht's demnächst weiter und im besten Fall habt ihr ja nicht so lange zu warten, aber
und wahrscheinlich werden die Folgen dann auch ein bisschen länger werden, ne?
Genau.
Gehe ich mal von aus.
Alles klar.
Ja.
Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal.
Boah.
Ja, lesen, ne? Ja.
So vorlesen ist gar nicht so easy.
Vor allem, du machst die Stimmen und bei mir ist einfach nur viel.
Ja, genau. Ich werde noch ein bisschen trainieren. Mal gucken, ob ich noch eine Stimme für Clover finde. Weil dieses das hört sich immer wie ein Mickey Maus. Hey, ich bin ein Mädchen. Das passt einfach nicht. Aber die Sache ist, bei June habe ich schon dieses...
Ja, das passt. Das ist so dieses Verschüchterte.
Aber und bei Lotus, sie spreche einfach wie eine normale Person. Das passt, glaube ich. Aber Clover muss halt irgendwie sich wie ein Mädchen, aber nicht wie June wie ein schüchternes Mädchen, sondern wie ein vorlautes Mädchen anhören. Weil ich ein Mädchen. Vielleicht muss ich einfach immer so sprechen.
Blümchen.
Hey. Ja, wie Blümchen, genau.
Wie spricht Blümchen?
Boom, 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 Boomerang. Hey. Na? Ich glaube, das könnte klappen. Wenn ich die mit ein bisschen höher mache, das könnte doch passen. Na?
Sendet bitte Feedback an robin@magazin.de und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal.
Ich versuche den Mats abzulösen als Hörspielheld.
Oh.
Wird wahrscheinlich eher nicht so gut klappen.
Toller Begriff.
Bis dann.
Tschüss.
Tschüss. Tschüss. Tschüss.
Tüdelü.
Das waren alle. Das waren alle Stimmen, die ich besitze.
Das hast du aber Mickey Mouse gar nicht gemacht, oder? So.
Tschüss! Oh, und ich habe auch noch. Das war Donald Duck, der Tschüss gesagt hat.